Welcome. Another day in the market. Drop a 1 in the chat if you got a notification from YouTube that I went live, because I did not. And I don't see it in my sub box. I don't know, maybe this stream is shadow banned. Let's drop a 1 if you did get one though. But let's get started. Okay, so some people did good. Only Discord, says Barasan. 7, that doesn't really help Cheddar Freeze. A lot of 1s. Alright, we got Medi spamming in the chat. Great. Now I gotta scroll up to welcome everybody in. What's up, Justin, Plebere, Barasan, the guy, Alfredo, Cheddar Freeze, Medi, Danny, Plebere, Miroslav. Okay, the mods are spamming the chat. It's a great way to start the stream. So the S&P, the QQQ, the Nasdaq were green today. The Russell and the Arkk were red today. Bitcoin had a nice day. Currently, the Bitcoin swing is up about 4% since the alert. I think it was on Sunday night. And you now have confirmed classic bullish divergence. You've officially bounced off of your inflection zone. Got a high over here, highs over here, a low over here, and you get another low over here. So looks like the Bitcoin bottom could have been put in for right now, at least locally, off of this bullish pin bar candle. And you're starting to finally uptrend on the 4-hour, which is very, very nice. If this candle closes like this, wouldn't be the best, but Bitcoin is currently reversing, and hopefully it can hold up. You just want to stay above 40K. It's really that simple. Ethereum also bouncing very nicely off the PCC of a bullish bat, testing a little bit of resistance here from back in August, and also the 200-day moving average. We'll see if that can eventually break or not. OMI, huge run off of this 200-day moving average and 0.005 support that I've been showing for months now. And it might be breaking out yet again of the bump and run pattern. The last time it broke out of this pattern, nothing really happened. If this is a real breakout, I mean, I believe the target of bump and runs are literally the top, and that would be about 86% to 100% higher for OMI if this breakout is true. Of course, that'll take a long time if it were to even play out. You could even just look at this as like a triangle, I guess. If you connect those lows, and I don't know, but if you connect these lows, sure. All right, so that's it for crypto for right now. What else is going on in the crypto world before we get into stocks? Just run through a few charts here. OMI, classic bullish, not OMI, sorry, OXT, classic bullish divergence, bullish shark. A lot of classic bullish divergence on altcoins currently. Look at StorageJ. Got this dragon pattern it's breaking out of. A lot of look at how many supports are being tested for altcoins currently. Another shark on XLM. I think this is Stellar or something. Classic bullish divergence too, very similar to OXT. I mean, we talked about Bitcoin, we talked about MARA earlier in the week, and wow. Getting a lot of double bottoms off of support areas, a lot of these altcoins. I'm just gonna keep running down my current watch list. See if I can find anything else. Falling wedge on COMP, potential double bottom, classic bullish divergence. Whoa, KNC pumped over here. Alright, so OXT, StorageJ, XLM, Comp, all looking pretty interesting here. Not financial advice. Let's move on over into stocks and talk about what's going on with the market. Futures have, yeah, they started dropping since I went live, unfortunately. Russell futures down about 1/3%, NASDAQ futures down 0.4%, S&P futures down 1/4%. Kind of just happened right now. Well, actually, no, they've been selling off for a while, it looks like, which is not so good because we had this earlier today. Let me see if, I don't know if futures printed it the same way, but let's see, where is the close? 16? Okay. So we had these breakouts on like so many different large caps and the indices into the close, and I really wish this would have formed, you know, around like noon or something, so we'd have like 4 or 5 hours for it to play out, but they kind of just broke out like 10 minutes before the close, which was really frustrating. So you know, now since it's a whole entire other session tomorrow, it's like the intraday technicals don't really matter as much, which is really disappointing. I was watching this for like literally all of the final hour of the day on the S&P, the QQQ. We had all these triangle patterns into the close. We had just broken out Apple, Nvidia, like so many different ones, and now kind of giving that up overnight on futures. But hey, I mean, if we just make this move back up into the open tomorrow, then technically none of this would have mattered because the market was closed. So we'll see. Who knows? Not too worried about it until the morning. Alfredo says, I wonder if in the future a short vid of Champ can be sold as an NFT. Champ charting can be sold as NFT. It's like watching an artist create a masterpiece. I don't know about that, but I appreciate it. Extend the demand line. I'm not too sure for what. Every time I hold options overnight, futures go down. So annoying. Sorry to hear that, Mehdi. But I don't know. Maybe you should just have different opinions about basketball players. All right, so let's get into the market. What happened today? What's happened so far this week? And yeah, Sunday night, this was how the market looked after Friday's candle. Okay, we had this red candle over here. I said on Sunday I didn't think that our bottom was in yet. On Monday we proceeded to go down 2% at your lows. The S&P was down 2%. You sold off all the way down to this demand line, and then you put in a hammer candle to close the day across the board for the market. On Monday night stream, I told you all that everything was starting to look really bullish to me, and we had a nice move up. And yesterday we went up, and then today I told you all that we're going to be opening, you know, around resistance, as we did, and we kind of had, you know, up down type of day. You did end up closing green for the SPY, but red for small caps and mid caps overall. So yeah, where are we now? Okay, you're kind of still in this resistance zone if you look at the daily, but if you go over to the 4 hour, you've pretty much broken above this resistance zone. Okay, and you pretty much close 2 of your 4 hour candles above that resistance zone, and you spent the whole entire day kind of holding that as support. So you had a breakout today on the S&P 500. It does need more confirmation. You have 2 4 hour candles of holding it, but I'd like to see it either continue going higher off of this level or at least get a few more 4 hour candles. This is a very real level. It's a very real resistance. So that's what you've got on the S&P currently. You also have hidden bullish divergence developing on the 4 hour and now on the daily. So that implies a continuation of this current uptrend. And yeah, I mean, apart from that, on the S&P 500, the title of the stream is how I've anticipated the market this week or whatever. So on Sunday I said I didn't think that we were done selling off, and then obviously we gapped down on Monday, had the sell off, and then on Monday morning I shared calls with premium members right over here. They went up 500% on the same exact day. It was the bottom of the week. I think it's still going to be the bottom of the week unless some horrible news comes out. And yeah, shared calls over here, SPY calls. Then today I shared SPY puts with premium members right over there. There's a little 5-minute rising wedge that broke down, and at that red arrow I shared SPY puts. And then you sold off all the way to over here, and then literally at the session low of today I shared SPY calls that went up like 100%. Zeke with the $5 tip.
Shout out to CB. I've grown SM as a trader NDM, so thankful to have joined FTM.
A lot of his acronyms were to use here. Thank you so much. I'm really glad to hear that, Zeke. You put in a lot of work. And yeah, thank you so much for the 5. Let's get some vibes in the chat for Zeke. First tip in a while. Appreciate it very, very much. Keep working hard, and the results have definitely shown already. So good job. But yeah, on the SPY, shared calls here, shared puts here. Those went up 160% intraday today. And then I shared calls at the bottom again, and those went up like 100% intraday. So I mean, I've been putting in the work. I've been staring at the S&P 500 chart like all week. I've traded it a ton. It's pretty good ticker for me this week. So that's where we are now. And then into the close, I was able to identify this triangle pattern. We broke out of it right before the close. Like I said earlier in the stream, I wish that we would have, you know, broken out of it earlier in the day, because you closed pretty much right after you broke out of it. And now we got to wait until tomorrow morning to see what the futures look like. So we'll see if that matters at all tomorrow. But if you have a flat open tomorrow, and pretty much as long as you don't gap down tomorrow, we're pretty much opening on low time frames right above a bullish breakout in a lot of different charts. So anything that's not a gap down tomorrow looks bullish to me, because also you're opening just above support on the 4 hour. So tomorrow morning, if we open flat, green, whatever it is, I might take calls off the open yet again. And again, it's not a certainty that we're going to keep going up throughout the day. But if we don't, I have a very clear area to stop myself out intraday, which would probably be just under today's session low. So that's the S&P 500. The QQQ is testing this 387 level live chart. It's not a huge level, honestly, so we can kind of ignore that. But the bullish Gartley we identified before it even hit the PCZ on Sunday night is currently playing out at the high today. It was up about 5.5% since the PCZ that was achieved on Monday morning. And you're back within this range between 380 and 400 on the QQQ. You're kind of in the middle of the range. Lower time frames. Who remembers the falling wedge we talked about on Monday night? I mean, beautiful, beautiful stuff. You are now hitting common retraces. Your golden retrace was perfectly hit. That was your high of the day today on the 618 Fibonacci retrace. So yeah, maybe a little bit of resistance here for the QQQ, but again, if the SPY can hold up, shouldn't be much of an issue. The NASDAQ back within this channel after dropping out of it, only to tap the 200-day moving average for like the first time since the COVID crash, and then get back in the channel. And you've got classic bullish divergence developing on the NASDAQ. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. The Russell 2000 was red today. It's okay. It's okay. Nothing really changed from a technical standpoint. You did get a 4-hour bearish engulfing candle to start the day, and then you already got the follow through price action. So you're just hoping that your low from Monday holds, and you do have hidden bullish divergence developing regardless. So not too much to worry for now. But of course, you could sell off a little bit more, then maybe go up higher. We'll see what happens. So that's the Russell 2000, the Arkk ETF, another one, premium members. I shared calls with all of you down over here, and I said in the Discord, I don't even know if I could find it at this point. We'll see if I could find it. All right, I think I said right here. Arkk calls up 65%, approaching upper 80s, where you might find the first resistance of the trader. So I shared Arkk calls earlier in the week. Let me see if I could find the message though. Did I share it?
Grain Belt Beer, Minneapolis, Omaha, and other thirsty places.
I think that was the message I shared it. So yeah, I mean, Arkk, everybody was, not everybody, but I'm gonna say Chatter Freeze, myself, and a few other people in Discord were talking about how important that $80 level was. You got to hammer off the level. It was your golden retrace from the COVID crash low to the all-time high. Classic bullish divergence developing. So I saw a very decent trade potential from pretty much $80 to the upper 80s, like I just showed you. I said in the Discord, and that played out very, very well for premium members. Those calls at the high today were up about 115% since I shared them in premium. So yeah, the week's been great so far. I mean, I don't know. I was telling the other mods today that I kind of feel like I'm celebrating by myself, but I don't know. It's been a fun week. Most of the swings are green right now. Over 1,000% in potential profits for premium members this week. And if you're not in premium, literally 3 days ago, I started sharing some options for non-premium members as well. And the first two options I shared went up 100%. And I shared another one today, which we're going to talk about later in the stream, which is NVIDIA. It started down a little bit red, and if futures stay like this, it might be down more tomorrow morning. But who knows? Anything can happen in the morning. So yeah, kind of green across the board for all the trades, which has been really, really nice. And then yeah, that's, you know, in terms of the Arkk ETF, you did not have a bearish engulfing candle today. It was close to one, but you did not close under yesterday's open, thankfully. So for right now, you're just kind of in between $80 and 90, kind of 50-50 for the Arkk here. But you still got the classic bullish divergence on the 4 hour. You know, might just do something like that. Who knows? We'll see. All right, that's pretty much it for the equities and the indices and whatnot. But some interesting stuff is occurring. You know, we talk about a few other stuff when we're going over the overall markets that can affect the overall markets. We'll start off with the Hang Seng Index, which is continuing to go higher. I don't really know. You know, we talked about BABA. It's been up, I think, like 8 or 9% since I started talking about BABA. I think on Sunday nights when I first brought up how bullish BABA looked to me. That's up like 9% this week or something. I mean, you can take a look at it really quickly. And I did miss putting out a swing on BABA. I told you last night that I was planning on putting out one, and it gapped up today. But yeah, this was pretty much the swing I was planning on putting out. I still might put it out if it comes back down to the entry area I had. But on the week, BABA's up 6%. However, off the low of the week, BABA is up about 9%, like I said. So yeah, even that was a potential profit of 100%. They got stop hunted for premium members, but I did say that the technicals look the same. But yeah, Chinese stocks are doing well. I mean, we had JD. This is currently a swing. This is currently up 12% on the week. So yeah, you see, the Hang Seng Index was showing bullish variables that we've been talking about for a while, and now they're starting to play out. And that can actually help you because we can trade a lot of these Chinese stocks on American brokerages. So you can see JD doing well. That was one of the main reasons I even looked at some Chinese stocks when I was scanning over the weekend, because of this index. And I just pulled up on the weekly chart and wow, this looks amazing. Oh my gosh. And I'm not keeping up with the fundamentals going on in China. I think one of our firms actually downgraded their GDP forecast or something today. I don't see that in the news though. Let me see if I could find it. China GDP forecast downgrade. News. Goldman lowers China 2022 growth forecast to 4.3%. That news came out about 1 day ago, okay? But look at this weekly chart, okay? Bullish pin bar last week, classic bullish divergence. Who remembers the bat that we were talking about? Let's take a look at it, see if it's still valid on the weekly. I mean, beautiful, beautiful stuff is happening right now. And then you can even chart a supply line here, which it's breaking out of. I need to start looking at more. We're going to look at more Chinese stocks tonight on stream. I want to go take a look at NEO and I don't know. I'll ask you all to give me some more takers later on in the stream. But we have a lot of other stuff to talk about first. But these are the times. They're very, very quiet times. But these are the times you want to be paying attention when you see setups like this. I mean, it's such a historical area too that it's breaking back above. It's beautiful right now. So that's the Hang Seng Index. But apart from that, we have other things going on, okay? So we're going to start with gold, which is going higher and higher. We talked about this last night. I mean, how bullish did I say I was on gold in these areas on the back test? The weekly, we talked about the triangle breakout, still kind of testing the breakout. So that's really it for gold, but take a look at the dollar, okay? The dollar, remember this symmetrical triangle we've been looking at? It broke down. This could be good for equities. Typically, you're going to see the dollar, potentially in a way inversing it short term. I kind of feel like long term, the dollar's relatively stable, thankfully. So it doesn't really move too much against the markets, but typically the markets have been going up forever. So in that scenario, the markets have heavily outperformed the dollar and the dollar's heavily underperformed the market, right? If you would have just stayed in cash for the past 100 years, you would have lost out on the opportunity of a lifetime. If you were just invested in the S&P 500 or something like that. But yeah, the dollar, it's been on this crazy uptrend. And this really started in May, okay? Keep that in mind. This started in May. It's been on this crazy uptrend, and it now just broke down of its first pattern since May. Now, if we go back to the Russell 2000, go back to May, okay? So I mean, do that. Okay, let's go back to May. May was over here, okay? So as the dollar started going up, the Russell dropped. Let's go back to June. The Russell dropped from June, or the Russell dropped in July. Let's go take a look at July for the dollar. This was July, okay? This whole entire range. So that's interesting. The S&P overall, I mean, the dollar just went up over the past 6-7 months. So did the S&P, but the Russell just kind of went sideways. So now this is dropping down, and there's certain scenarios where short term you can see this kind of inversing the market. I mean, take a look at the COVID crash. Obviously, equities went down, and in March of 2020, the dollar went up about 8-9%. So, yeah, that's an important thing you want to keep an eye on. Dow Jones in the upsloping channel. Russell 1000 growth bouncing off a demand line. 2000 growth. Testing previous support as resistance. Lumber actually exceeding the 886 currently of the bearish bat. And now let's take a look at the US 10-year, which is starting to decline. You could see that we had obviously the sell-off over pretty much the first week of January while the 10-year was going up, and now this week has been a green week for the markets, and this is kind of pulled back a bit. I know Cheddar Freeze did talk about the potential for this happening, I think over the weekend or something. So finally, the VIX is back under the 200-day moving average, but it's dropping back towards the areas in which it's bounced, right? I thought it was a really weird line I just drew, but have to keep an eye on that. So, typically you do bounce around these areas for the VIX, which means the markets pull back, but typically you don't just drop down here and then immediately shoot back up. Typically it takes, I mean, we can just look at it right now. It take a month of consolidating before you actually reverse off of this zone. Typically, it's about a month. 21 days, 30 days. So we'll see what happens. And that's really it for the overall markets. All right, make sure you're in the Discord. Cheddar Freezers, drop the link in the chat. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're going to talk about some other stocks right now. We're going to get started. So first off, I'm just going to start about some stocks I just want to talk about. And after, I'm going to go over the ongoing swings. Then we'll do some ticker requests after that. But let's get started with, let's talk about some options trades. And then I'll talk about BBIG, which was up 23% today. So Apple, just a little bit of an update. I alerted calls to all of you, not just premium members, on Apple right here on the falling wedge breakout. Those calls went up over 100%. Microsoft, I alerted calls last Friday. Unfortunately, the market gapped down like 2% on Monday. It went down 2% on Monday. So, you know, on Friday itself, the Microsoft calls went up 20%. And then on Monday, the calls were down a bunch. But today, the calls ran so much, you gapped up on Microsoft, and the calls were actually up 100% since the alert price I shared last Friday. And I did say in the swing updates channel to keep an eye on Microsoft, that was still looking bullish. And still, keep an eye on Microsoft, okay? Right angle, descending broadening wedge, flip the previous resistance into a support. Now you have sprung back above the support area, and now you are back testing, okay? You're back testing this breakout. Of course, you do have a gap fill that could fill if the market pulls back, but still keep an eye on that. I showed you all MARA last night. That had a nice, very nice morning. As you can see, it gapped up. Actually, in the Champs Trades channel, I shared MARA calls that I was entering yesterday with premium members, and I did take profits on them this morning, pretty much right around the open at the high of the day. So I made like 60% profit. I was honestly planning on swinging them for longer, and I actually might re-enter MARA because Bitcoin still looks bullish to me, and so does this chart. I mean, it just broke out of this falling wedge with classic bullish divergence confirmed, so I might re-enter, but 60% in a day, I'm not complaining. So those are some options trades. I already talked about the SPY options trades from today. Lucid. I showed you all this resistance last night on the stream, okay? It went up to it. All right, on 10th, what was that? Monday? Yeah, on Monday, I showed you all the cup and handle on Lucid and how it was looking very, very bullish and ready to break out. And then it ended up making like a 14% move. And then I also showed you this resistance, and that's where it topped out. So nice calls there on Lucid as well. It's actually looking pretty interesting now. 15-minute hidden bullish divergence, and it kind of broke out of this little falling wedge on the 15 minutes. So I'll keep an eye on it for tomorrow. But yeah, that's Lucid. What else? Yeah, let's talk about BBIG now. Okay, last night on stream, I mean, like for the past 2 or 3 nights on stream, I believe I talked about BBIG. I shared it on Twitter. Somebody, I think, requested this as a ticker request at some point this week, and I identified this long-term falling wedge breakout. I don't know if there was a catalyst or what the deal was today, but BBIG, since the areas that I started talking about it breaking out of the wedge, I mean, at the high of the day, it was up like 29% since then. And yeah, what's going on with the chart now? Broke above this 276 level. You can see its resistance in February of 2020, resistance in April of 2021, support in August of 2021, support in December of 2021. It's broken back above that level. There is now a gap fill at 377 for BBIG, and there's not much resistance until then. You just broke out the wedge. Nice volume today as well. Of course, it did just go up like 30-40% off the lows. So you had more technical areas. I mean, look at that 218 support we also talked about. From all of these lows, you bounced off that same exact support. So yeah, that's BBIG. Now let's talk about the swings. Fisker flat day today, still just going sideways around the support area. Why did that move back? So you do have nearly confirmed classic bullish divergence for Fisker. It has this 1 hour down sloping channel. I think Cheddar Freeze also identified this. So Fisker just waiting for a move. Hopefully it can bounce off of these lows, and yeah, that's really it for Fisker. Just waiting for a potential move off of these lows. Let's take a look at Bollinger Bands. It's at the lower Bollinger Band on the daily. CLOV was down 4% today. Bearish engulfing candle? Let's see. No. Close to a bearish engulfing candle, but not technically a bearish engulfing candle. And you're finding this little support on your candle bodies around like 315, and then resistance around 340. So you're just kind of in this range between 3 and 350, I guess, just psychological area. So You're just hoping that this can break above 350 before breaking under 3 and holding under 3. You don't want it to, of course, touch 299 on Monday or whatever, but didn't really hold under it. You just want it to stay above 3. It's really that simple. I mean, you can go down to lower time frames, but there's really not much to talk about there. You have nearly confirmed 4-hour classic bullish divergence. The last time you had 4-hour classic bullish divergence on CLOV went up 20%. We talked about that, I think, like last night or something. New swing today was Tesla. I talked about this last night. The inverse head and shoulders gapped up a bit, but still wanted to share this. So yeah, very simple. You broke over this 1063 resistance level. You broke over that green supply line you see on the chart, and you have a potential inverse head and shoulders. And really, this is a very simple trade. It's pretty much betting that Tesla is going to go to 1200 before breaking under the low it made on Monday. That's really it. That's how I set up the trade. The second target is just under 1300 psychological resistance. If there was a third target, it would probably just be the 1272, which is at 1340-ish. So yeah, nice move on Tesla today. Up 4%. Hopefully you can keep going. Maybe a little bit of resistance around 1110-ish from these highs. Then the rest of the swings, they're, down 0.5%, 1%, just kind of like a sideways day. And I think I did kind of hint at that last night, but not much of any technical updates. Beyond still showing resistance at 70. Hopefully you can break above that. AMC still just going sideways for the past almost this whole entire week. It's been going sideways after bouncing off of 21 yet again. But again, sideways is not bad. It gives you the ability to start consolidating and to build your oscillators up, to start developing things like classic bullish divergence consistently. SONO, most of the swings are in profit, so if they're pulling back 0.5%, 1%, it's not a big deal. SONO just maybe back testing this little potential breakout it's working on. That's really it. JD was down 0.5% today. Look at that. It bounced off the 200-day moving average after breaking over yesterday. This was alert, I think, on Monday, and it's already up 10%. SPLK up 4 or 5% since the entry. Just kind of a sideways day, just kind of a rest day for a lot of these stocks today. Wix broke out of the wedge yesterday, back tested the wedge today. Days like these are not bad. It doesn't feel good to see them down 0.5%, 1%, but it's better than being down 4 or 5% literally the day after they went up, or 2 days after going up. So maybe just back testing, oscillations going on. Nothing really too concerning. GameStop, it already hit the first target. Hopefully it can just hold above 119, but at this point the trade's kind of already played out. The initial trade idea is already done. SU actually hit the second target today, so on this free trade swing set, on this free swing trade setup, 17% profit has been achieved. Third target would be 22% profit if it runs up to the next resistance at this gap fill from like February of 2020. And VLO also hit the second target today. And I told you all last night on stream that they were looking like they were about to hit the second targets, and they both did today. So 20% profit on this trade setup. I mean, look at this. It took like a month of just kind of going sideways, and then as soon as you broke over that 200-day moving average, we were talking about this breakout, okay? You had your bullish engulfing candle, close over the 200-day moving average, you broke above these candle highs over here, and as soon as you got that breakout, this trade's just gone straight up. So it took a month of patience, but if you remained patient, the second half of the trade was fairly easy. So second target was hit. You're now testing the neckline of this inverse head and shoulder. So VLO, if that breaks out, the next target is $92 roughly. And that is it for the swings for today. So yeah, I don't know, maybe it's just a short stream again. We'll see. But yeah, if you want me to look at a ticker, drop it in the chat and I'll take a look at a few. Just gonna pick and choose, probably not gonna look at all of them. And we'll see. I want to look at some Chinese stocks too with how the Hang Seng Index is looking. Jono's spin on that one. We're talking about BBIG. I think I saw somebody else. I think the alum mentioned it. I didn't see it, but good job, Jono. Roblox. I like to see Roblox skip back above this little zone here, 90 to 93 bucks. Would like to see it reclaim that zone. If it could do that, then it could retest 104, that's the next resistance, and then 126, you said. Pattern completion zone of a bullish bat, and you've got hidden bullish divergence developing. So yeah, you even got a hammer candle at that. So yeah, you definitely have an edge here. It's a low risk, potential high reward opportunity. If I were to be swinging this, I'd probably line it up something like this. That's probably how I'd line it up if I was swinging it. So that's Roblox. CCJ. Support 20, resistance 26.49, and then after that 28 bucks. It's in the middle of a range. I don't really see an edge on CCJ currently. Looks very, very neutral to me. I could see it going either way, and I don't know anything about the company. Bank of America, SOS. Oh my gosh, it's a penny stock now? Wow. Yeesh. What a downtrend. Well, zoom in here, focus on this price action. You are breaking out of a wedge. So you just broke out of a wedge today for SOS with Bitcoin going up. It's kind of bouncing at your lows from April 2020. I don't know what's happened to this fundamentally for it to drop this much, but there's not much resistance until $1.20 on this. Of course, you could use fibs of just this wedge alone. And that 120 would be in your golden retrace areas, golden zone. If it ends up breaking above 120, then you got 153, 194, and then a gap fill around 207-ish. Bank of America, we talked about how beautiful these formations have been for Bank of America. Inverse head and shoulders, broadening wedge, hidden bullish divergence, back testing like all the breakouts, great stuff. And now it broke out of a previous all-time high. It's kind of testing that. If it holds this, good. If it doesn't, then you got a gap fill at 46.50. If it holds, you could just use Fibonacci from this high to this low to find your next target. So not much has changed since we looked at it a couple nights ago. Kind of have a megaphone pattern here on MAS. Don't really see much of an edge on it. Trend is your friend for right now. That's really all I got. Workhorse, $4. Classic bullish divergence on the daily MACD and RSI. 375-ish was resistance in October 2019, January 2020. Getting close to that area. Got a falling wedge here. Yeah, it could be ready for a short-term reversal, and then, I mean, if that can start creating higher highs and higher lows, maybe long-term reversal. This stock got obliterated as well. So see what happens. LVS, hit the PCZ of a crab pretty much. Classic bullish divergence. It double bottomed at that area, which also lined up with the support from the COVID crash. Got some short-term resistance around 39.42, but if you break that, that could send you back up to this little blue inflection zone in the lower 40s. That's LVS. HUT. Who remembers that cup and handle? That was beautiful. Maybe an alternate bat. Close to an alternate bat. And break a lot of wedges, a lot of falling wedges. It's testing. I gotta sneeze. It's testing a break out of a falling wedge. At around a 786 retrace. This is how I look at DEGO, falling wedge breakout, classic bullish divergence, and then REN. probably just look at it like that. Very similar charts. So yeah, they're at apexes of falling wedges. Those are your levels. FSLY, classic bullish divergence. Didn't we look at this? I don't know. I feel like we looked at this recently. I can't remember though. Close to a bullish Scarlet with classic bullish divergence at the PCC. And roughly back testing a previous high from 2019. Actually tested as resistance today. So you'd want to break back above 35, and then short term, yet another wedge. This is pretty interesting. You can break above 35, sudden alert. That could be interesting for FSLY. What's up, DC Chef? Vibes, good night, y'all. Thanks for all the TA Champ and FTM crew, you got it. Vastly was on your watch list? Which watch list? Was it the most recent one I sent? How did I chart it there? JD, it's a swing now. Shopify's had a nice week. Square, this was literally the bottom. I charted this before it even got there. That was literally the bottom for now. Play, American Airlines, Lucid. Oh my gosh, even Lucid was on the watch list going into this week, and we all saw the move that it made. And Baba, of course. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these, tickers I focused on so far during the week, and that have had a great week. I actually sent them to premium members on Sunday. That's where I get a lot of these ones from. It's through my scanning sessions on Sundays. A lot of these tickers I do in the featured tickers section of the stream. Most of them just come from my watch list. So yeah. This was a beautiful one. Wish it was a swing. Good job, Maddie. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I just need to do some math, sorry. Any thoughts on a scanner video and stream anytime soon? I'm sure we'll do some more at some point. If you ever want any, or if you want to look back at some from the past, just go to education and right here, scanning streams. Alright, so I think that's going to be it for tonight. Hit the like button if you don't already. Hit the subscribe button. Hopefully tomorrow's a good day. Futures have bounced back up a little bit, so that's good. Good luck trading tomorrow if you choose to. It's been an amazing week. I've been celebrating it myself, I guess, so far. I don't know, just everybody's sleeping, I guess. But we'll be back tomorrow. We'll keep working at it and just trusting the process, all right? Have a good night, everybody. Peace out.